morning, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me on another Friday Live. My name remains Debbie, your Discovery Coach. I'm the founder of your Discovery Coach, and I'm so happy to be here again on the Friday afternoon. It's nice and sunny here in the UK, and I'm enjoying the sunshine. Thank you for joining me. Hello, Ngozi. Hello, Ruth Baba. Thank you so much for joining me on another afternoon. It's such a pleasure to come here every Friday afternoon at 12 o'clock and to do this with you. So let's know where you're joining us from, please. And what's the situation like weather-wise where you are? Let's just have a little chit-chat. That would be very helpful to get this conversation going. Anyone wants to talk? Hello, mamas. And yeah, nice and sunny here. Kids are enjoying the going to school because obviously they're not, wearing 3 layers of clothes, your suits, your jumper, your jacket, and everything. It's just nice going to school, taking walks in the forest, in the bushes, and it's something we really enjoy to do here. What's one thing you enjoy to do when the sun is out where you are, or when the weather is so good where you are? Let us know. Anyway, thank you for joining. My name remains Debbie. As I said, I am the founder of your Discovery Coach, and I am just here this afternoon for 45 minutes, 1 hour max, on continuing our conversation from last week. Last week we talked about the unmute yourself, and today we're going to look at that act of staying unmuted, not just unmuting yourself, but actually staying unmuted. And I'll just present my screen. I'll present my notes, my PowerPoint now. So the art of staying unmuted, how to keep your energy and voice aligned. If you remember last week, we talked about rediscovering your voice because silence is expensive. And when you stay silent, it's not just about you staying silent. You're actually, you're being invisible. You're actually suppressing yourself. You're muting yourself. So you're not aligning to your optimal self, to what it is that you can achieve in life. Remember, we talked about, how expensive that silence is, because it's not just you being silent, it's also you carrying it down as a legacy to your children. For every time we've said it in a couple of webinars, says for every time you rise as a woman, you give your children, you give another woman the opportunity to rise. So remember that when you stay silent, or when you stay undiscovered, or when you stay, in your raw state, then you're not living life to your maximum. And that's, we talked about rediscovering your voice, embracing your energy. We talked about breaking the cycle of silence, because it's very important for us to rise as women. As women, we need to own our voices. We need to, rise. And today we'll just go straight into it and talk about why we stay unmuted. Why we need to stay unmuted, sorry. There's one thing I would like to bring up, and that's, an integral part of this conversation today, is the power of consistency. Consistency is a muscle that we must have. Consistency is a muscle that we must embrace. Consistency is a muscle that we have to embrace to keep our voices unmuted. So we can't just say, oh, we've attended one webinar, we've attended one webinar, we've attended this, we've attended that. Staying unmuted is a daily consistent action. It's in the everyday things that you do. It's not just a one-off, let's do it, let's just, it's something you stay in. Every time you remember that, your voice is important, your voice matters, what you carry on the inside of you matters. Every time you raise your voice for the things that matter to you, it's not one-off, and it doesn't come without challenges. Challenges will be there. There will always be challenges, and that's the thing, and that's why consistency comes in. you're going on your way from, here to maybe the airport, or here from to another country, and there's turbulence in the sky. You hear the pilot saying things like, fasten your seatbelt. He didn't say, I'm just going to quickly land in the nearest country, even though we haven't reached that country. He tried to go through the turbulence, because that would be very, very unhelpful. So every time challenges come, it will test this voice that you say that you have. Every time a challenge comes, it will test the voice that you say, oh, I have this, I'm unmuted now. I recognize my self-worth. I recognize my power. I recognize who I am. But then challenges will come. A little voice may even come and tell you, oh, keep quiet. This thing that you're saying is not important. But every time you overcome, the urge to just keep quiet and keep yourself behind, you're building a muscle. And that's why that's why consistency, transformation is not one-off. It's not something, off and on you do and then, hello, Nicha, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Yemisi, for joining us this afternoon. I was just talking about going back from last week, when we talked about unmuting yourself. And then I said, for this week, we're going to talk about that act of staying unmuted. And we're talking about how this staying unmuted is not a one-off thing. Transformation is not a one-off thing. It's something that, you would need to be consistent in. For instance, you decide, okay, I'm going to start baking. And I'm going to start selling because I bake very well. Every time people, I've always used the example of baking, and it's just one of the examples that, come very strong to me. And then you start to bake, and then something happens along the line. You had a little misunderstanding with your client. And then you say, that's why I didn't want to deal with, people. I don't like dealing with people. I just like to be in my own corner. I just like to be in my own house. But you started to find, what you like to do. You started to find your voice. You started to find the things that, matter to you. When challenges come, how do you rise above the challenge? So yes, you had a misunderstanding with the client. She probably told you to write 6, and you didn't hear, in your excitement to get the order, you probably read it as 9, and then you put 9. How can you decide that, okay, I'm just going to stop this business of a thing? It's staying consistent in finding your voice, in building the life that you have found, this newfound transformation, this newfound life, staying consistent in it. You find you have technological challenges. You've decided, okay, every day I'm going to go online and I'm going to, talk about the things that I love. I love to help women do this. I love to help people do that. And then, someone makes a comment that is not very pleasing. And then you decide, okay, this is why I don't talk to people. So for real transformation, for every time that you found your voice, there will always be something to challenge it. And that's what we are here to talk about this afternoon. For every time you find your voice, something will challenge it. Or, you will draw up a schedule and things did not go up as you planned. What are you going to do in those situations? Are you just going to say, okay, I'm going back to my mute position? Or are you going to, try your best to see how you can? And that's where resilience comes in. That's where consistency comes in. How are you able to overcome the challenges? How are you able to overcome challenges to stay unmuted and not to go back to your default of, hiding yourself, being silent, and, just being in your own corner? Your own corner is not serving any purpose. So while we're in a corner, our corners are not serving any purpose. Our children are not learning from us by us being in corners or by us being, on the side. So challenges will come. How are you preparing yourself to be resilient in these challenges? What do you do in these times of challenge? What do you do to overcome these challenges? And how do you build resilience in your staying unmuted? Or you even say what you want and your husband is, chuckles and says, is it not you? But they don't, growth is very subtle. People don't realize immediately, what's the process that you're going through or the growth that you're experiencing. So they might chuckle and say, we know you now. You know the person that was there before. You don't know me now because I'm on a journey. I'm on a journey to staying unmuted. So when people don't even recognize the growth that has happened, because growth can be subtle, growth can be, hidden for a while, and sometimes growth is not, in fact, growth is not loud. I can't tell you that I've heard of a tree that is growing, that you plant a seed and then in the night you hear this seed going, I'm growing. No, it's you wake up in the morning and then leaves are sprouting. Sometimes you wake up several mornings and actually there's no leaf sprouting. Then suddenly one morning you wake up and then the leaves are sprouting. But there's been growth that had been going on there. Even before the growth, there was a death that already happened because the seed needed to be buried. The seed needed to, germinate, start to grow roots before it starts to grow leaves. So when you are growing the roots and nobody's saying that, okay, I am unmuted, I am finding my voice. My voice matters. I matter. And then when I encounter challenges in this root stage of me growing my roots, of me not, people not seeing my leaves, do I just go back to default? And it's very easy to go back to default. It's very easy to say, I'm not turning up again, I'm not doing this again, because sometimes comfort gives you a sense of safety, but it's actually not safe. It's actually not safe because time goes, and in that comfort you're not growing. Except you try new things, you can't have a new life. Except you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and expect different results, you can't. And the point of all this, the rediscover, especially, if you're a woman who has, lived up to 40, up to 50, or whatever it is, you really need to understand that a time will come when you won't even have the strength to do these things. So getting it right now, finding your voice now, is very important. It's something that you need to rise and find your voice and stay. Let that voice stay founded, if there's any word like that. Let that voice stay up. Let us hear that voice. Let us hear that voice. Your hiding doesn't do anything for anyone. Your family needs the real, vibrant you. Your family needs you. Your children need you as an example. Your children need to look up to you, and there's a sense of pride because they identify with you. They're not hiding you, being their mom or being in their corner. They are very proud. They know you. They know you know what you're doing. You're not hiding and using them you're not living life through them. You're living life, without apology, on your own terms. And because you deserve to thrive and not just survive, it's very painful when you see, people who have lived all their lives and it's just a struggle. It doesn't mean that when you're doing something that you're born for, that there will be no struggle, but it's not a struggle there's a struggle that comes that you're just feeling sorry for the person, but there's a struggle that comes that in that struggle, people are building resilience, they're growing, they're glowing. That's what we want. We want to grow, we want to glow. We want people to come in contact with us and we look like we know what we are or who we are. We're sure of ourselves. You do better when you thrive. Your immune system even responds better. When you're in a state of fulfillment, in a state of you're fulfilling purpose, you're living for something bigger than yourself. There's a sense of joy that comes through your life. You're not painful to be around. And I say that very cautiously because it is easy to just say, oh, please don't judge people. But there's every reason for you to, to thrive. Everything you need to thrive is literally inside or around you. It's up to us to believe it. It's up to us to believe it. Even the things that come as challenges is there to make you grow. It's there to make you blossom. It's all about perspective. Somebody may see a mishap as, an opportunity to resign. Someone may see that same mishap as an opportunity to Find a way and make it better. And for every time you overcome a challenge, and for every time you overcome, a circumstance, you actually are growing. And that's how growth comes. That's how you stay unmuted. That's how you stay transformed from one challenge, overcoming and overcoming and overcoming. It's just like starting to learn to, run the marathon. Maybe you haven't run in years, and then you start to learn. You start with 500 meters, you start with 1 meter, you start with 2 meters, then you start with 200 meters, then you start to build. You're building a muscle, you're building consistency, you're building yourself. And that helps you to thrive, and that helps you to grow, that helps you to become, the better version. This thing that they say, the better version of yourself. But it's possible. Let's just go on. So what's the art of staying unmuted? Understand your triggers. What triggers you? What makes you want to sink back into the, corner where you are coming from? What makes you shrink? What makes you hide? Understand the things that when they come up, that's when you're running away, you're running, and then you're like, I don't know how to explain it. Some things sometimes, let me use this as an example. You've told yourself, okay, I'm a good baker. I'm using the baking example still as an example. I'm a good baker. I can compete in the baking world. And when I bake, everybody likes it. And then for some reason, somebody walks in and didn't compliment, like maybe your family member walks in and didn't even compliment the cake and didn't compliment, your hard work. And then you start that voice now starts, how am I even sure that I'm so good? You see, those voices in your head, that self-doubt in your head is actually a trigger. It's a trigger that helps you, that tells you, let's go back to where we are hiding. You see that small voice in your head that tells you, are you good enough? This thing I'm going to do now, people are doing it. I'm not the first. Yes, you're not the first, but your voice still matters. What's your trigger? Is it the voices in your head? Is it the circumstances that are around you? What's the trigger? What exactly is it that triggers you, that causes you to just go back to hiding? Nobody complimented you today. Okay, is that a trigger? The voices in your head asks you, are you good enough? Is that a trigger? Or even your children, you say, okay, I'm going to start this with my children. I know I'm going to start this with my husband. I'm going to tell him what I want. But he hasn't come to terms with the new you. And then it triggers you to thinking that, oh gosh, I'm not good enough. Nobody's even my children are not listening to me. Even my husband is not listening to me. When you recognize your triggers, when you know what it is that causes you to, go back to hiding, to staying muted, then you're able to deal with it. You're able to deal with it. So it's an art. It comes with, being self-aware, journaling your thoughts. Sometimes I think about the things that I'm thinking about. Yes, it's a thing. So I'm thinking about something, or I feel a certain type of way. I start to trace, where are those feelings coming from? I start to trace, where are those feelings coming from? How did this even start? So it may not even be the final thing that broke the camel's back. It may start from, even waking up from the wrong side of bed. How did I wake up from the wrong side? What were my thoughts before I slept? So I'm backtracking. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to recognize my thoughts. I'm trying to recognize where these feelings are coming from. I'm trying to recognize where these triggers are coming from. What causes me to, give low energy? You have work all over on your table, but you're now low. You're down. What are your triggers? Every emotion that you feel is a message. If we dissect the reasons behind these emotions. We will start to say, okay, someone said something to me, or I didn't do something well, I don't, and then you start to backtrack and see, okay, this is where these things are coming from. So it's not a one-off thing, like I've said earlier. It's something that you have to keep doing. Becoming a better version of yourself is hard work. It's not even a joke. Because you have to be so conscious. It's living in a state of consciousness. It's being present with yourself. It's being present, knowing who you are, knowing the things that, trigger you, knowing the things that put you off, knowing the things that take you away from alignment, and telling yourself, these things will no longer take me from alignment. Bring yourself back to alignment. Because there's always this, this subtle thing that tells you, stay small. Let people not notice you. Let people not see you. You feel safe because people are not seeing you. But what purpose is that serving? Unfortunately, in the world that we're living in today, it's a world where maybe if you're not a doctor, nobody is going to come to actively look for your service, or you're a nurse. But a lot of things that we all do is a lot of people are doing it. Social media age, you're going to see someone better than you. You're going to see something, you're going to see someone thriving better than you. But it's not about you're not trying to compare yourself. You're just trying to tell yourself that I need to, keep polishing who I am. So recognizing your trigger is a very big part of it. Recognizing what keeps you small, recognizing what makes you hide is a very big part of it. Now you're going to build routines that reinforce your voice. What do you mean by building routines that reinforce your voice? What is your morning routine? Is your morning routine, do you have that particular time for yourself where this is sacred? This is me, an appointment with Debbie, an appointment with myself. That time where nobody touches this time. Even if you send me a message at this time, I'm not going to answer you at that time. Build routines. Teach your children to take on some of the chores that are keeping you weighed down. Build routines to even teach them. You'll be shocked how much and how resilient, kids can be. It depends on what you teach them, is what you expose them to. So some things now, I just said to my 5-year-old and my 7-year-old, this is yours. On Thursday evening, it's your job to do all the small dustbins, very small ones, the ones in the rooms, just small. It's a chore, but she grows up with it. Not me up, down, up, down. Build routines. Teach the people around you. Teach them to pitch in. Teach them to, do their own parts. Even if he's a 2-year-old, it's fine. Let him or her pick their toys. It's okay. So you need to build routines that say, this time, my children know, they're like, oh, if you wake up at 4, 5, 6, you will see mommy with her book and her pen. That's my time. It's my time. It's sacred to me. And also in the evening, they sit down with me. I'm teaching them the act of staying quiet. We all journal together. I say it's a quiet time. Reflect on your day. This is me also building routines into their own lives. And then they understand. Children understand much more than we give them, the credit for. Another thing is develop a community of support. You can join our community, our paid community, where we're going to, dig into these things, deeper. It will be a community of support, close-knit, not too many people. But you need community. You can't be greater than your environment. So I'm very careful, how the kind of communities I'm in. You can't be greater than your environment. You're constantly hearing negative words. You're constantly hearing negative things. You're constantly not, you can't be there and then expect to grow. So, developing a community of support is very important. The people you follow on social media, the things you watch on the internet, the things that, you allow into your space, you will have to be very guarded about your space, guarded about the things that, you allow around you. the kind of conversations you allow around you. These are very important. If not, you slip back again to, hiding. You slip back again into not, speaking. You slip back again into not showing, not expressing who you are, who you were born to be. You slip back again into hiding behind the kids. There's an art to staying unmuted. And it doesn't just come from, I've attended one seminar, I've attended one webinar, I've attended one. It's a daily act. It's a daily act. In fact, so I dare say it's not just a daily act. It's a minute by minute. Before this, I'm going to give you an example. Before this webinar, my husband usually is at home to help me set up and everything. And I feel a sense of comfort when he's, because if I know that if I encounter technology issues, I can just get him from his office and then he helps me. And then, I felt really bad just being alone right now, not having that kind of support. But I had to tell myself, I can't not show up because I'm feeling this certain type of way. No, I can't just not show up. I had to, affirm myself. So I started to, at first I thought it was just, I didn't even put I didn't put so much thoughts to it. And I said, okay, so why am I feeling this way? And I backtracked. Okay, I'm feeling this way because I'm the only one here and there's actually nobody to help me with my tech. Okay, so how can I help myself to become? So I started to understand that security I have by someone else being around me was no longer there. And how do I deal with it? So I backtracked. I just knew that, okay, I'm feeling a certain type of way, but what will help me to stop feeling it? So I'm not waiting till the end of the day to journal about it. I'm dealing with it, spot on right there where it is. Okay, he's not at home. So what's the big deal about him not being at home? And then the camera actually went off. I said, okay, what can I do? You're learning to move on quickly. Instead of sitting down there feeling despondent. It's an act, it's not one-off. It's not, you don't even have to wait for the day to go on. What is stealing my joy? What is stealing my energy? What is causing my brain to start thinking of other things and making me hyperventilate, to become agitated? And then once I become that agitated again and I stay muted, I stay in the corner, I stay on the side, what are the things? What are these things? So it's being conscious of how you feel on a daily basis. You're in your feelings. You're not leaving things to chance. And it's very important if we must grow. Because emotions can be there as a barrier to us staying unmuted. I don't feel like it's a very, 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 very strong barrier. I don't feel like it's not really about how you feel. If you make a commitment to yourself, if you make a routine for yourself to build yourself, to reinforce your voice, you owe yourself you owe yourself the duty to show up for who you are, for who you want to be. For instance, you make a routine to say every 6 o'clock I'm going to take a walk, and then you wake up feeling a little bit, you wake up feeling a little bit, I don't feel like. Feelings are very deceptive. So you don't take that walk. You say, okay, I'm going to stay back. When you build a routine, honor your routine. You're honoring yourself. You're not honoring another person. It's yourself you're honoring. You're telling your brain that you're important enough to keep this, high in them. You're telling yourself that you're important enough to keep this commitment to yourself. So even yourself starts to recognize that when I make an appointment with Debbie, I keep that appointment with Debbie. When I make a routine for Debbie, I keep that routine for Debbie. It's just because Debbie is important enough. You see, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with how, you call up, you do a date night with your girls, and then you call up 2 minutes before and say, I don't feel like going. Feelings can be very deceptive. Stay committed to your structure. Stay committed to your routine and not to your feelings. Because if I go by how I feel, I just want to be in my house doing nothing right now as I speak. My feelings Why am I feeling that way? What's the problem? What's the problem? Like, seriously, what's the problem? How have feelings saved the world? Nothing. If not for anything, it has caused misunderstanding between the spouses, it has caused misunderstanding between siblings, it has caused misunderstanding between even countries. You know, you stay committed to, you honor the things that you honor the structures that you put for your own growth. Your brain starts to record that, this girl knows, she wants it. You call it by honoring it. That's what you do. So this morning I woke up, and honestly speaking, I have my walking pad in my office. I try to do my walking pad I try to do 20 minutes while I'm praying, because I would rather be walking on my walking pad and praying at the same time. For me, it's more effective, because then I get into the mood, and I almost did step on it, and I was like, Debbie, why are you not honoring the structure that you've put, for yourself? And then I quickly, feelings are very deceptive, because with feelings, you will stay unmuted. One person will say one word to you, and then you say, I don't even, that's why I like to stay in my house. That's why I like to stay on my own. That's why I don't want friends. That's why I don't want, all this community, I don't even want it. Feelings will keep you subject to, it keep you subject, and you would not live the kind of life that, will bring fulfillment to you, because it's up and down. Today I feel happy, tomorrow I don't. Today, I used to be very upset, when I was younger, because they said I was very moody, and that story for another day. But until I started realizing that emotions are fickle, and if you don't deal with it, you won't go anywhere. I was only going to be deceiving myself I was just going to be deceiving myself that I'm growing, because there are things that are there for your growth. When you don't feel like doing it, then you don't grow. And you confuse your brain the more. So today, you're on your treadmill at 6. Tomorrow, you're not on your treadmill at 6. Next tomorrow, you're on your treadmill at 6. There's a particular commitment I have every day at 6 o'clock. There was a day I woke up and I told myself, I've done it for almost 3 years, that particular commitment. And I told myself that, I woke up one morning and said, I'm not doing it again. I want to cancel this commitment every weekday at 6. I want to cancel this commitment. I don't want to do it at 6 o'clock again. And I slept 2 minutes to 6. I felt like it was my own brain that woke me up and said to me, this is the thing we do every day by 6. That's the power of consistency. I didn't want to, but I had built consistency in that particular thing, that I was now on autopilot. So when you say, I feel like and I don't feel like, I feel like and I don't feel like, you're not helping your brain to even help you. You're not honoring yourself. You're not honoring your brain. You're dishonoring yourself. And that's where, that's the message for today about art of staying unmuted. What are the systems and the structures that you have? But what's the routine? What's your routine? What's your own routine to stay unmuted? What is it? And trying not to use feelings to cancel the routines. This morning I woke up really tired, because for some reason I woke up, I slept, and I don't feel like I rested. But my brain is so used to me waking up, on my body, I don't know if it's my brain or my body, the whole system of Debbie is so used to waking up at 4. I might get up at 4:30, because that's when I put for my routine to start. But I woke up at 4. By 4:30, I was already in my office. Whether I felt like or I didn't feel like. When you honor it, now you start operating autopilot, and that's how you stay growing. That's how you stay growing. That's how you stay strengthened. When you're unpredictable, your brain doesn't know whether it's the Debbie that is happy or the Debbie that is not happy. So they don't know how to help you. There's no alignment. When you stay consistent, there's an alignment with what you want and what the things that you're doing to get what you want. Your body starts to align to get you to where you need to go. It starts to align. That day I was so upset. I was like, I said I'm not doing this thing again. I said, well, we are used to it now. So 6 o'clock, I woke up and I still did it. That's what commitment to yourself will do for you. It doesn't happen in one day. It doesn't happen in 2 days. But the more you overcome challenges, the more you overcome the obstacles around you, the better. And then you grow in these things, and that's what growth is. That's what staying unmuted. That's what it is. You break out from molds that you have created around yourself. I'm this person, I'm not this person, I'm this type of person, I'm not this type of person. Who is this type of person? And does this type of person actually make anything out of life? We need to be very careful the molds that we put in ourselves. God has made us amazing human beings. Neuroplasticity of the brain is not something that we know we can understand in one sitting. He has made us with billions and trillions of cells, of neurons. You can stretch yourself for as much as you want. I'm this type of person, I don't do this type of thing. It's not a growth plan. I'm just this. So you put yourself in labels, you put yourself in containers. There are certain things I know we can't change. Like I can't change the color of my skin. I don't plan to bleach. I don't believe in bleaching. I can't change my height, even as much as I want to be tall. I know I cannot be tall. The highest I can do is to wear high heel. Your biological, capacity may be fixed. The color of your eyes, the shape of your nose, those things may be fixed. But most other things, your emotional capacity, your psychological capacity, your capacity for stretching, every other thing, your resilience capacity, you have potential, unlimited potential. So don't stay in a container and just tell yourself, that's how I am. I think that's my message for today. Because when you label yourself, you tell yourself that that's how I am, that's who I am. No. What's the optimal you can be? I think that's the question you should be asking yourself. What's the optimal I can be? What are the things that if I dare, I can achieve? Don't stay unmuted. Don't stay hidden. Ngozi, I know that you'll enjoy science. Don't stay unmuted. Don't stay hidden. Don't stay small. There's so much we can do. There's so much capacity the human has. There's so much capacity your brain can stretch. I grew up thinking I'll never know maths, but I've told myself everything that I have said I cannot do, I will challenge it. And that's why I'm going to dance on my 50th birthday. I'm still saying it because I'm still looking for the dance class. But everything I have told myself I cannot do, I'm challenging myself to say I will move out from the things from the containers that I have put myself in. No, I will no longer stay in containers because my brain can stretch beyond what I can think. So why am I putting myself in a container? Deborah, thank you. What's the optimal I can be? If I'm a writer, what's the optimal I can be? If I'm a baker, if I'm a preacher, if I'm an author, if I'm a doctor, what's the optimal I can be? Putting ourselves inside containers will not help. Labels, giving excuses, feelings. Come out from your feelings. I've just realized that one of the most destructive things that can keep you pegged in life is how I feel. Feelings are good though. They're not really, they're not really reliable. Because you remember that scenario that I painted. You told yourself every 6 a.m. I'm going to take a run. I'm going to go on a run, sorry. And then your body was telling you that I don't even feel like going for that run. Remember how you pushed through that run and then you started to run. What happened to you? I remember there was one time when the kids were much younger, and I would tell my husband to please help me look after the kids, and then my friend and I would go on a walk. I felt one morning I felt like I couldn't even walk. That day I walked my most. I didn't even want to go home, but I had to go home because the agreement was I will do this time to this time, then he goes for his own this time to this time. But I was enjoying that walk. Why was my feeling telling me that I didn't want to go for a walk? It's because feelings are not always reliable. Your routines, your structures, the things that you put around yourself. Good afternoon, lovers. Good afternoon, Mokan. Thank you for joining us. The things, the structures, the things that you put around yourself will be more reliable than relying on feelings. Sometimes I don't feel like eating rice. Sometimes I don't feel like doing this. Sometimes I don't feel like talking to anybody. But has my silence helped anybody? And then years pass. That's the painful thing about living on a whim. Years passed. You look at your life. What have I done? Years have passed. You tell yourself, if I had risen maybe when I was 20 or at this age, I probably would have been in a better place by now. But feelings, I don't feel like. So you keep yourself in a container. Let's move on from this slide because I promised 45 minutes to 1 hour, but I want you to take only one question from here today. What's the optimal you can be? Are you living that optimal? What's the optimal you can be? You have potential. Are you capping your potential because of the way you feel? We need to be very careful because we are limitless if you think about it. There's so many people that in this world that are, doing great things. They don't have two heads. And they're not necessarily Christians. They're using the power of their mind. They're using the power of their mind. And it's the same power available to us. So, as we're saying about consistency, structure, whatever, I also want us to understand that we can learn anything. Anything can be learned at any age. Don't limit yourself. Don't tell yourself, you can't go back to those books. Don't tell yourself that you're not a good reader or a fast reader or a this reader. You're not a this. Don't put labels. Don't put knots behind what you cannot do. I know there are some things, okay, I might not be able to do because of my biological makeup, but don't put limits where limits don't need to be put. I know I can't grow long legs, no matter how hard I try. Can't be that tall. I can only wear high heel shoes. But every other thing, I can learn anything. I can learn anything. I can achieve anything if I put my mind to learning. It may be hard, but I can learn anything. Practical steps to staying unmuted. Speak life into yourself. Remember when we said in the first webinar, when we said, you're talking to your friends and then you say things like, don't mind me. Say, no, I don't say that again. I've told you guys. Mind me, because I matter. Speak life into yourself. Your conversations must have life. Your conversations must carry weight. No more weightless conversations. No more things that come out from here and go out from here. Let everything that you do, curate it around things that have life. Let your life be life, not lifeless. Daily affirmations. And when people are around you and they are saying nonsense, move yourself from it. Move yourself from that, nonsense. Move yourself from places that have no life, lifeless conversations. Be careful how you bring you be careful how you bring lifelessness around you, because it's contagious. The way you carry life and then you affect the people around you is the same way. If a lifeless person comes, it dulls your spirit. It dulls your spirit. So honor yourself even in the things that you listen to. Honor yourself even the things that you say of yourself. You have honor for who you are as a person, as a being. So you will stay true to the things that will keep you honorable. You will stay true to it. You will stay true to it. It's not about it, because we talk about the universe, and then responding, and then your mind, your thoughts. Some people don't like to use it. Some people say, it's a God effect, but I don't, I'm not here to say whether it's God or the universe, but you attract what you are. That's it. You attract what you are. So when you keep yourself around dishonorable things or dishonorable words, you are attracting dishonor to yourself. When you say something and you are not keeping it to yourself, you say, I want to read every day at 7:30. You're not honoring it. You're not attracting honor onto yourself. So we need to be very careful. Speak words of affirmation. Speak life to yourself. Don't stay around lifeless situations. Don't stay around people that carry no life, whether it's on social media, whether it's in real life, whether it's from the things, the movies that you watch. Nobody has the permission to speak dishonor into you, and don't speak it by yourself. Protect your energy. Create boundaries. Create boundaries. We've talked about this last week. Create boundaries. No is a complete sentence. Or going back to that again, it's a complete sentence because no. I can't help you right now because no doesn't need explanation. And it was when I moved into UK that I realized that Nigerians, we can explain. You see somebody tells you in the you're at work, and then someone says, I can't come in today. The Nigerian would have sent, I can't come in today because when I was coming down the stairs and then I tripped down the stairs, and then when I tripped down the stairs, I broke my leg. I can't come in today because I had a minor incident. Full stop. They're not explaining explanation. So one day I was talking to a white lady and I almost explained, when I just remember, people don't have energy for your explanation. It's us that will explain. So when I was about to start the car, then the thing was kiki, and then I had car problems. I don't know if it's them protecting their boundaries, but it's not everything. It's not everybody that is allowed, inclining to what's going on in their lives. Very short, straight to the point. No plenty explanation. Take it from my leave day. Don't take it from my leave day. We'll talk about this. We're very professional. We're going to talk about it on a professional level, and that's it. We're not friends. So why do you really need to know how I fell, 2 stairs down? And I had to learn summary, boundaries, because these people protect their boundaries. You can't just waltz into their world. No. No. Protect your boundaries. No is a complete sentence. You don't have to start explaining yourself all the time, explaining all your life history to people. That is, when you finish, it's not like they're going to do anything with the information anyway. It's not that the person is your doctor or your lawyer or the person really needs that information. Protect your energy and always have time for self-reflection. I'm already teaching my girls, even though my 5-year-old, she makes me laugh when she's doing her own self-reflection. She just writes because she's like, Mommy writes fast, so she's trying to write like me. But it's just the practice of, at the end of the day, let's reflect on our day. So even if she can't write it, we still talk about it. Let's talk about the things that, because when you don't, whatever it is that you can't measure, you don't know whether you're going forward or backward. You don't know if you're not reflecting on your growth, if you're not reflecting on the things that have happened to you, you're just living on autopilot. You're just, the same thing will happen tomorrow and then this thing is so painful. Like, I can see how somebody can live the same way for 10, 20, 30 years and no improvement, no improvement, no focus, nothing in the life to show for it. I can see how it is easy because every day is on autopilot. Maybe once in a while, there's no, see, companies do, business reviews. They do first quarter, they do half year review, they do end of year review. They look back, what worked this year, what didn't work this year, what can we improve on? Why don't you take yourself, you know that you're a full company by yourself, in yourself. You can have a board meeting with yourself. Ask yourself, how am I living? And it can be, it's a daily thing. It can be a monthly thing. But ask yourself, always have time for self-reflection. What is it that I have done well? What is it I'm struggling with? Because except you are aware of the things that are around you or the things that, limit you, you can't do much about it. If you're not aware, you will just keep on going on autopilot, and then you will wonder why life turned out. Life is not a mystery. It's not something that just happens to you. It's something you live every day. So if you end up at the end of this life and then you haven't gotten the kind of result that you want, it's just because that's what you have lived. I was talking about when David was, going to die, and the Bible says he was full of years. What's your years full of? What's the years? It's full of years. What is it full of? And it's not the years, it's the day by day, the 1 day, the 2 day, the 3 day, the day 4, day 5, day 6. And it doesn't have to be perfect. But self-reflection is something that is so powerful. So if you're struggling with journaling, if you're struggling with, sitting down and having a board meeting with yourself, just tell yourself that this thing is important for me, so that I'm not ending up at 60 and I'm wondering, what have I done with my life? It's a very serious question. What have I done? That question still shakes me. What have I done with my life? What have I done? Who am I? Just autopilot, helping every other person achieve their dreams minus yours. You are valid, you matter. So you will start to take yourself as important as the CEO of yourself, because you are the CEO. You will have the board meetings, you will self-reflect, you will journal your victories, you will journal your struggles, you will journal the things that are working and the things that are not working. You will journal the things. Self-improvement is a daily thing. If you improve, if for instance, I have this little box here, and then tomorrow we come on, we have a meeting. I'm the maker of the box, say for instance. Tomorrow we say, no, this box shouldn't open this way. It should open that way. And then we start to improve on the box. Then by the end of the year, we'll probably have, a better looking box, maybe bigger or smaller, depends on the purposes. That's how cars improve every year. You can't have a 2020, 2002 Volvo the same with the 2022 Volvo, the same with the 2025 Volvo. They improve every year. You owe yourself that improvement. Every year they call, they brainstorm, they call engineers, they do designs. What can we do to make our car a competitive advantage over, another brand? Brands do this thing. You are a brand. Why are you not doing this with yourself? It's not about just going to work every day and coming back. You are a brand. You don't have to have a full-time, even if you have a full-time job, you don't have a full-time job. You are a brand. You are living, you are a living sacrifice. Every single day, you are a brand by itself. What sort of brand are you showing us? Are you? If you see yourself that way, you will start to honor the commitments you keep to yourself. This won't be dependent on feelings. We're going to round off now, and I'll take any questions if you have any. The power of consistency. Consistency is free. It's key, not free. Consistency is key. A stay-at-home mom who mastered the power of her voice. She set daily boundaries and affirmations. She set daily boundaries and affirmations and became her strength. I'm sorry, Debbie, I was the one who did the slides, so you forgive me. So she moved from being unheard to unstoppable. She moved from being unheard to unstoppable, and she now champions herself and her dreams. Like my mentor will say, nobody's coming to save you. You're the one who will champion, this thing that nobody's coming to save you. I won't lie to you. There are times that I wish that, somebody will just come and give me one magic wand and say, I've set up everything for you. Okay, this is what you're going to do. It doesn't work like that. The onus is on you. You are the one who will attract what it is that you are looking for. The onus is on you. So somebody can come, set you up nice, start you up and everything, but the onus is on you to keep it, to run it, to live it. It's on you. It's on no one else. So you can go from feeling unheard to unstoppable. And it starts with one small step. You can go from feeling small and invisible to championing yourself and your own dreams. Yes, you will need people. Yes, you will need collaborations, but it starts with you. Nobody's going to come and collaborate with you in the corner of your room. No. They won't collaborate with who they don't see. No. So nobody's going to think about you when you're not in their face. You know, you've written a book, or you just kept it in your house. No, they're not going to collaborate with a faceless, oh, okay, yes, the Holy Spirit went to their houses and, you know, minister to them to come and collaborate. I don't think it really works that way. I'm not sure. I doubt that it works that way. Even if you know, even you know, you even if you say, okay, that can happen, why are we told to, you know, do certain things every day? Why are we asked to have our bath every day? Because one bath is not enough to keep you clean for 1 week. Even though some people may disagree with me, but that's fine. You do certain things every day, and that's the same thing with showing up for yourself every day. Self, you know, reflection, affirming yourself, journaling, having your own, you know, your own personal me time with yourself. Yes, you have small kids. I hear you. I didn't ask you to have 30 minutes. Cultivate the habit of doing 5 minutes. Let them sleep. Leave the phone. Put it down. Do 5 minutes of self-reflection. As they grow older, you gain more time for yourself. As they go into um reception and nurseries and whatever, you have more time for yourself. But you have to be selfish with yourself by yourself, to snatch that time for yourself. You have to be selfish about it. You have to be brutal. It's not nobody's giving me the time. Nobody's going to give you the time. Everybody wants your time. That's what moms are. And we are here to sacrifice. We are happy. But see, the thing is, they will grow and they will live their own lives. And then we don't want a situation where you are left resentful and bitter. After all, I killed my dream for you. After I carried you for 9 months. No, that's not what we want to hear. My mom still says that to me. I carried you for 9 months. Have you had that? No, it was up to you. I didn't have a say in that carrying. But that's not what you want for your own, you know, for your own self. And I was going to repeat this quote again because I think this quote really spoke to me last week. Silence is often misconstrued as permission. When you keep quiet, you give people the permission to treat you how they want. That's it. Or to just take you for granted. So what are the challenges to staying unmuted? I'll just go through this quickly. Guilt of putting yourself first. Sometimes we feel guilty because we feel like, you know, as moms, we're supposed to continue to give until we have nothing to give. Please stop feeling guilty. I release you from the power of guilt from today. May you go and live a full life, because your full life will benefit every other person around you plus you first. You're afraid of being perceived as selfish. I release you from the fear of being perceived as selfish. Go and thrive. Stop surviving. And then you struggle to maintain consistency. And that's where our Becoming Her program comes. We're going to help you in these 5 weeks to build that consistency. We're going to, in fact, I was doing the program I was developing the program for the 5 weeks, and I was like, wow, even me, if I go to this program and I remain the same, then there's something wrong. You know, the thing that keeps coming to me about why we stay stuck, there's a gap. And I'm going to be talking about that gap in that program. It says mind the gap. You know, if you're in England and you go into London, TFL, when you want to come off the train, there's a voice that comes on the tunnel and it says mind the gap. There's a gap because there's a human. There's you as a human being. There's something you can be. I'm not even talking about as a spiritual being now. As a human, you have limit. You are limitless. You have potential. You have capacity. But there's a reason that you're not feeling that capacity, and that's the gap. And then we're going to be paying mind to that gap. We're going to be bringing forth awareness to that gap, paying attention to the things that can close up the gap or can widen the gap. That's what we're going to be doing in that 5-week program. So today will be the last offer of the 35 pounds of 49,000 naira. Today is the last offer. If you don't pay today, price goes up from next week to 45 to 55 pounds. But this is something that I would like to offer you. People who joined last week, I still have the offer of a 1-to-1 30 minutes discovery call with me. I will still keep that offer till today. You can still have a 1-to-1, but there's a gap. There's an optimal you, and there's a you here, and there's a gap. There's something that will not allow you to close that gap. That's what we're going to be dealing with. A 5-week program, live weekly sessions to help you to shift and to grow. A powerful rediscovery workbook, daily journaling prompts, and guided action. So we're going to be holding you accountable. If you're struggling with consistency, if consistency is what you're struggling with, we're going to be holding you accountable, holding your hand, helping you every day to build this consistency. Bonus question and answer sessions with me, and invitation to the full Becoming Her experience. And what you walk away with, you walk away with a clear vision for your next chapter, confidence in who you are and where you are going, a renewed identity and powerful daily habits, and a community, a meaningful community and accountability. Those are the things you're going to be walking away with. So take up this offer, because growth does not happen by chance. It has to be intentional. It has to be deliberate. You have a plant. I'm a certified plant killer, by the way. As I don't know any plant that has come into this house that has survived me. I don't know why. For some reason, people give me plants, and I don't know. I try my best. I give it sun, but for some reason, maybe the conditions in my house don't make plants thrive. But that's by the way. But you have a plant, you water that plant, you put the plant in sun, you nurture the plants. That's what we're going to be doing. Don't stay out and stay locked and expect that I can just be um I can just be I'm a plant whisperer. Okay. You can be a plant whisperer. It's true. I can. True. And then you stay out and you think growth can happen by chance. Growth doesn't happen by chance. It has to be deliberate. Maybe I haven't been deliberate with the plants in my house, but I promise you I'm going to be deliberate with other things that grow in my system. Yes, but what I'm saying is don't stay out. Don't stay out and pray for chance, or wait for chance, or wait for luck. It doesn't happen by chance, it doesn't happen by luck. Does anybody have any questions before we go? Because this was supposed to be a 1-hour webinar, and I can take any questions if you have any questions, or I will be sending us off to our days. But don't let life happen to you by chance. Don't let life happen to you by don't look on and life is going past. It's a very painful thing when you grow older and then you realize how much time. And it's not even just by what's the word, you're not doing anything. You can be doing so many things, but the things that you're doing are not particular for your growth and for your own nourishment. So you can be this, you can be that, you can be there, you can be there. Like my mom used to tell me when I was a child, busy but doing nothing. I can't forget. I'll be and I'm very small, so you just be saying me. What have you done? I've still not done the chores. I've still not done anything. We're not talking about that. You're being intentional about your own person, about your own self, because it's the quality of life that you have, or the quality of life that you breed, that brings the other things around you, that brings the growth in your career, the growth in your business, the growth here, the growth there, the growth there. But if your own being cannot sustain it, it's just going to be what everybody has. They just pass by. Everybody sees you that you're busy, but what's the result? What's the produce? And on this note, I can't see any questions. Thank you, Nem, for telling me I can be a plant whisperer. I will take that challenge right now. Next plant I have, I'll share with you guys how I nurture that plant. But thank you for your time. I don't take your time for granted. Don't take your growth for granted. And I don't take this, everyone who has been on this webinar with me, on this live webinar, and everyone who's going to be watching after now, I don't take it for granted. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Ayo. Thank you, Mokan. Thank you, Ngozi. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And do have an amazing, amazing day.